In the world of employment seekers, there's a significant number who successfully secure positions. Yet, paradoxically, some individuals within these roles display remarkable incompetence, resulting in substantial financial losses for their companies. One might assume that a meticulous screening process would prevent such occurrences, yet the question arises, how did these individuals manage to slip through the cracks? Join us today as we delve into the stories of 20 people entrusted with specific responsibilities, only to falter spectacularly in their endeavors. Number 20. Breaking Tesla's window. For those who enjoy seeing the wealthy face public mishaps, here's a tale involving Tesla and its charismatic creator, Elon Musk. Picture Tesla designer Franz energetically praising the brand on stage, only to face an unexpected hiccup. The spectacle's highlight was Franz testing Tesla's supposedly unbreakable glass windows. The plan: throw a steel ball at the glass and see it bounce off harmlessly. However, reality intervened, and the steel ball not only failed to bounce off, but cracked the supposedly strong glass. Ironically, the same mishap occurred with another window, resulting in another cringe-worthy crack. Elon Musk stepped in to control the damage. Before the steel ball incident, Franz had demonstrated the truck's toughness by slamming its body panels with a sledgehammer, unknowingly compromising the supposedly unbreakable glass. Despite these unexpected events, the vehicle's overall engineering achievement remains noteworthy. The demonstration, though leaving the audience in awe and amusement, serves as a reminder of the unpredictable nature of live presentations, even when showcasing cutting-edge technology. Number 19. Crane fails. Speaking of total idiots at work, ever laid eyes on a container truck? You know, those heavy-duty vehicles entrusted with transporting cargo containers between docks or companies in need. These trucks boast specialized clamps designed to fasten the containers securely, a crucial safety feature given the potentially hazardous contents they carry. However, as with any safety mechanism, there's a catch. Forgetting to disengage these clamps can lead to unintended consequences. Consider a scenario where a crane attempts to lift a container off a truck that's still tightly bound by these clamps. The outcome? Well, it's not hard to imagine. The truck is hoisted into the air, only to come crashing down when the yet-to-be-released clamps finally let go. The impact is nothing short of seismic, as the back of the truck slams against the ground with a resounding thud. Witnessing the truck driver's animated efforts to salvage his vehicle adds a dramatic touch to the scene. Despite being at fault for neglecting to separate the truck and the container, the driver, undoubtedly distressed, frantically endeavors to prevent further damage. While the front of the truck might have emerged unscathed thanks to the failure occurring at the rear, it doesn't diminish the severity of the ordeal. This incident serves as a sobering reminder for the driver to ensure such a mishap never befalls his truck under his vigilant watch again. Number 18. Ancient death mask. Imagine a scenario akin to an episode of the notorious plastic surgery TV show Botched, but throw in a dash of historical calamity with a bad day on the job vibe. That's the unfortunate tale of 8 museum employees in Cairo, Egypt, who found themselves in hot water after bungling the restoration of King Tut's burial mask. Picture it as an epic fail run through a History Channel filter. The revered artifact suffered a severe setback when the beard portion was accidentally broken off, prompting an emergency repair job that spiraled into a disaster. Conflicting accounts emerged, with some stories suggesting an accidental breakage and others indicating a loose beard that needed removal. Regardless of the origin tale, the attempts to rectify the situation resulted in a truly botched restoration. The gravity of the blunder became evident when the Egyptian prosecutors brought forth major charges of negligence and violations of professional standards against those responsible. In a move that defied all scientific methods of restoration, the suspects resorted to using sharp metal tools to remove visible glue, further damaging the 3,000-year-old piece. It was a desperate attempt to conceal their misdeed. Recognizing the severity of the situation, the artifact was handed over to experts in Germany. Through their meticulous efforts, the beard was successfully reattached, and the damage wrought by the misguided restoration attempts was effectively undone. The incident serves as a stark reminder of the importance of adhering to professional standards and utilizing appropriate restoration methods, especially when dealing with invaluable historical treasures. Number 17. Don't drive tired. Despite being a common-sense caution, many individuals, like the one in this example, often overlook basic safety measures. Imagine a situation where a forklift driver, seemingly oblivious and dozing off, negligently nudges a warehouse shelf. Initially appearing inconsequential, this minor action sets off a chain reaction, causing shelves to collapse and creating a catastrophic mess. Fortunately, the driver escapes unharmed, but the financial repercussions for the company are significant, potentially costing tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. The foolishness in this scenario is twofold. Firstly, the forklift operator shouldn't have been driving in a compromised state, as falling asleep at the wheel is a blatant hazard. Secondly, his misguided belief that there would be no consequences demonstrates a remarkable lack of judgment. The incident raises questions about job security, as such a monumental blunder would typically lead to termination. However, there are instances, like Randy's fire extinguisher escapade in the break room, where some individuals seem immune to consequences. Number 16. The spill and the cleanup. Picture this. A truck spills countless bottles of Korean vodka onto a bustling street. The mishap unfolds in the video as the driver attempts a sharp turn with the truck flap wide open, resulting in a vodka cascade. It's a regrettable waste of this cherished beverage, which, in an ideal world, should never be squandered on an unappreciative street. In an ironic twist, despite the driver's lack of haste in fleeing the scene, the sheer magnitude of the mess rendered it impossible for one person to rectify. This is where the admirable citizens of South Korea step in. Witnessing the spectacle, 18 individuals swiftly sprang into action, armed with brooms and any available tools, refusing to let the vodka-drenched street remain in disarray. Their collective efforts, driven by a rapid response and a genuine willingness to assist, resulted in the entire area being cleaned up within a remarkable 30 minutes. To be candid, not every nation would have responded with such altruism. The quick and selfless reaction of the South Korean people stands as a testament to their kindness, contrasting starkly with scenarios that might unfold in other parts of the world. Regrettably, less than a week later, history repeated itself as another truck spills its load of Korean vodka. Perhaps a lesson in hiring drivers less inclined to indulge in the cargo's delights is in order. The vodka, undoubtedly, deserved better treatment than the streets offered. Number 15. What a pain. Ever caught those classic comedy sketches featuring two deliberately clueless individuals attempting to navigate a pane of glass through tight spaces, only for inevitable mishaps to occur? Believe it or not, life sometimes imitates art, and such a scenario unfolded in Vietnam. Picture two men earnestly trying to maneuver a sizable pane of glass into an elevator, all in the pursuit of getting it to its intended destination. At first glance, it doesn't seem entirely foolish. After all, transporting the glass upstairs manually could be risky and physically demanding. So, why not opt for the convenience of an elevator? Here's the catch. The glass was just too darn big. In their attempt to fit it into the elevator, they didn't realize the impracticality fast enough. As a result, the automatic sensor for the elevator closed prematurely on the protruding glass that was far from being fully inside. Cue the comedic twist. The elevator ascends, subjecting the glass to colossal pressure. And then, boom! The glass shatters. The upside? Well, now the glass is significantly smaller and can actually fit in the elevator. Kudos, guys! While it might seem like a case of being a tad harsh on them, the reality is that the oversized glass should have screamed impracticality from the get-go. Yet, they forged ahead with their ambitious plan, and as expected, their aspirations were shattered along with the glass. Life's random, right? Well, not really. I prefer to see myself as a glass-half-full kind of person. Number 14. The pilot's power. Certainly, let's delve into another incident involving someone behind the wheel, and this one takes us to British Columbia, Canada. A medical emergency unfolds as a man falls out of a raised bucket into a ditch, requiring immediate attention. A medevac helicopter from the local hospital swiftly arrives at the scene, lands successfully on the road, and loads up the injured man. However, the situation takes a drastic turn when the helicopter attempts to ascend and inadvertently clips nearby power lines. Oops. Now, the severity of this mishap is more significant than it may seem at first glance. Helicopter blades must maintain perfect orientation and shape for safe flight. Upon hitting the power line, the pilot immediately senses serious vibrations and is compelled to make an emergency landing. Thankfully, the injured man is transferred to an ambulance and subsequently driven to the hospital. As for the helicopter, it's not a quick fix. It has to stay overnight, and an entirely new set of blades for the back rotor is required before it can safely take off again. While the circumstances differ from the forklift incident, with location and an alert pilot factoring in, it's nonetheless a serious screw-up. Had the man been in critical condition, the helicopter mishap could have caused crucial delays in potentially life-saving procedures. Additionally, the collateral impact on power lines might have left people without electricity. The incident underscores the critical importance of precision and vigilance in emergency situations, where every moment counts. Number 13. The Theos Scam. Elizabeth Holmes, an American businesswoman and founder of the once promising yet ultimately fraudulent tech company Theranos, embarked on a journey with the best intentions that quickly unraveled. Holmes, who had a fear of needles, envisioned revolutionizing blood testing by developing technology capable of extracting vast amounts of data from small droplets of blood. Despite a lack of scientific evidence supporting this ambitious idea, Holmes garnered substantial support and funding, propelling her to become the world's youngest female self-made billionaire, while Theranos reached an estimated valuation of $9 billion. However, the facade crumbled swiftly. Skepticism arose as experts cast doubt on Holmes's revolutionary claims. Revelations emerged that she had gone to great lengths to cover up the lack of scientific support for her grand ideas, undermining the principles of genuine scientific advancement. The scandal proved to be the downfall of Holmes's CEO career, as she faced official charges of massive fraud. Subsequently, the U.S. government accused Holmes and others associated with Theranos of destroying evidence, including false claims related to their novel blood testing systems. In essence, it was a job not well done, tarnishing the once promising trajectory of Theranos and leading to serious legal consequences for its founder. Number 12. The Accidental Sinkhole. Lake Peigneur in Louisiana experienced a catastrophic event that transformed a typical workday into a multi-million-dollar disaster. Initially a commonplace freshwater lake, Lake Peigneur was only 10 feet deep, with a small island in the middle. Since 1919, the Diamond Crystal Salt Company had been operating a salt mine near the lake. In 1980, an oil rig team on the lake encountered an ominous situation when their drill malfunctioned, accompanied by a series of loud pops. The rig began collapsing in the middle of the lake after inadvertently penetrating the main shaft of the Diamond Crystal Salt Mine located beneath Iberia Parish. Unaware of their inadvertent intrusion into the mine shafts, the oil rig workers found themselves scrambling to the shore. The consequences of this accidental penetration were astonishing. Approximately 2 to 2.5 billion gallons of water drained from the lake, causing 65 acres of land to sink into the newly created hole. Once the lake emptied, a dramatic transformation occurred as the canal changed direction, allowing salt water from the Gulf of Mexico to flood into the muddy lake bed. The flooded mine played a crucial role in this environmental calamity, forcing compressed air out and creating a spectacular 164-foot waterfall. It took 2 days for the new bodies of water to stabilize after this unprecedented event, which incurred an estimated cost of almost $50 million to rectify. This incident at Lake Peigneur serves as a stark reminder of the unforeseen consequences that can arise from industrial activities and the delicate balance of nature. Number 11. One Dumb Plumber. Picture this. A landlord facing the common issue of a leaky sink in one of his rooms decides to bring in a plumber to resolve the matter. Now, one would expect a seasoned professional to handle the situation with expertise, getting the job done promptly and without causing additional problems. However, this story takes a turn for the worse. The plumber, seemingly oblivious to the basics of Plumbing 101, decides to take on the task without adhering to a fundamental step: turning off the water to the sink. Can you guess the outcome? You got it right. He inadvertently triggers a flood in the apartment. To add insult to injury, the flood extends into parts of 2 adjacent apartments, resulting in significant damage to countless items and incurring thousands of dollars in losses. The twist in this tale is that both the plumber and the landlord, instead of taking responsibility and paying the necessary fee to properly address the issue, choose to neglect turning off the water. Enter a bystander, not even a tenant, who realizes the gravity of the situation and decides to document the catastrophe. This person becomes the recorder of events, aiming to hold the accountable parties responsible for their actions. Imagine if this were your apartment. Wouldn't you seek justice for what should have been a straightforward fix? The incident serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us all of the importance of hiring professionals who adhere to basic protocols, sparing us from avoidable disasters. Here's hoping such misfortune doesn't befall your residents anytime soon. Number 10. French railway blunder. Imagine a scenario where a colossal mistake on the job not only causes inconvenience, but leaves a whole nation in frustration. Well, that's precisely what happened in France, when the state-controlled railway operator SNCF ordered 1,860 new trains, only to realize they were too wide for many of the country's platforms. Talk about a bad day at work. The hefty investment of $20.5 billion in the new trains turned into a major headache, as it was discovered that the SNCF had provided incorrect train dimensions to the manufacturing team. To compound the issue, the stations themselves were outdated, having been built over 50 years prior when trains were slimmer. The consequence? The new trains, with their wider design, simply couldn't fit into the stations. A staggering 1,300 stations were deemed too narrow for the new trains to use. The embarrassing blunder was confirmed by a spokesperson for the rail operators, acknowledging the discovery of the problem a bit too late. The root cause lay in the fact that 2 separate private companies were assigned the task, revealing flaws in the planning and coordination process. Despite being a little too late in realizing the mistake, France embarked on a discreet mission to correct some 300 stations to minimize the impact on the public perception of the upgrade. The cost of fixing this massive blunder? Over $68 million. It's a stark reminder of the repercussions that can arise when critical details are overlooked in large-scale projects, leading to not just a financial dent, but also widespread inconvenience for the public. Number 9. Appliance issues. Many families experience the common occurrence of acquiring new household appliances, whether it's due to a malfunctioning refrigerator, an upgrade for the stove, or the need for a new washer and dryer in a new home. However, the challenge lies in relying on external delivery services, which can lead to unfortunate incidents, as seen in Chad Jones's family's experience with a new refrigerator. During the delivery, captured on a Ring camera, the delivery man failed to properly secure the fridge to the dolly. As a result, when he set it down with too much force, the fridge crashed onto the driveway, causing significant damage. A second delivery man was on hand to assist, but was unable to prevent the mishap. Surprisingly, the delivery company denied responsibility, claiming that the 2 delivery men were not their employees, but rather worked for a van rental service. This situation highlights the frustrations families may face when relying on external services for appliance deliveries. Fortunately, the family had retained their old fridge, avoiding the inconvenience of waiting for a replacement. Number 8. Car company gives free car. Floridian. Adam Sidoti had a joyous Christmas as he decided to treat himself to an upgrade. He traded in his Volkswagen Jetta at a local dealership, putting $2,500 down and signing some paperwork, ultimately driving away with the latest 2021 Ford Bronco Sport. However, the festive mood took an unexpected turn the next day when the dealership called, requesting the Bronco back 3 days before Christmas. It turned out that the model Sidoti drove out wasn't supposed to leave the dealership floor for another 4 months after its official release. It was essentially a Ford Motor Company display model. Facing this predicament, Sidoti contacted the press, turning a small misunderstanding into a significant issue. However, when the TV station reached out to Ford, they took a customer-friendly approach. Ford intervened, allowing Sidoti to keep the Bronco and resolving the matter with the dealership. In the end, Sidoti got to enjoy his Christmas with the unexpected gift of the Bronco. Number 7. Russian gold bar disaster. Believe it or not, instances of objects falling from planes, including equipment, luggage, and even human stowaways, are not uncommon. However, a unique situation unfolded in Siberia when a Russian plane's cargo of gold spilled over a vast area after takeoff. The Antonov plane, loaded with precious metals worth $368 million, was refueling at a Siberian airport. After a seemingly successful takeoff, the cargo door unexpectedly flew open, causing a treasure trove of 9 tons of gold, platinum, and diamonds to rain down on the Siberian tundra. Despite efforts to secure the area, only around 200 gold bricks were recovered from the tarmac, with some gold found as far as 16 miles from the takeoff site. Officials attributed the incident to a strong flow of air during takeoff, which partially tore off the cargo hatch. While human negligence is a possibility, the exact cause remains uncertain. The situation posed not only a considerable danger, but also resulted in a significant loss of valuable cargo. It's likely that someone faced consequences for this unexpected golden shower, and speculations about it being an elaborate attempt to steal the gold added an element of mystery to the incident. Number 6. Ship meets bridge. When navigating a river with bridges, it's crucial for a ship to determine whether it can safely pass under them. Unfortunately, a German freighter neglected this consideration, loading its barge with so many containers that it became stuck. In the process of attempting to free itself, some containers were lost to the river. Officials had to intervene to salvage the situation, ensuring both the bridge and the freighter were not seriously damaged. The incident serves as a reminder of the importance of proper navigation and safety precautions. The potential consequences, such as damage to the bridge leading to a collapse, could have been catastrophic, risking lives. It is essential that thorough investigations are conducted to understand the causes of such mishaps, with the aim of preventing similar incidents in the future and ensuring the safety of both waterway traffic and infrastructure. Before we move on, here's today's subscriber's pick. Check out this jaw-dropping image that unfolds a tale of construction gone awry. Working in construction is no walk in the park. It involves navigating complex machinery, demanding rigorous training. Now, picture this. A guy at the construction site claimed to have aced his vehicle training, but in reality he hadn't. The twist? As one of the total idiots at work, he got handed the keys to operate the machine. And as the photo vividly portrays, things took a nosedive. Miraculously, nobody got hurt, but the construction vehicle suffered irreparable damage. The financial blow of replacing it was astronomical, skyrocketing to such heights that, unsurprisingly, he lost his job. It's a cautionary tale for everyone. Never exaggerate or lie about your qualifications, especially in a high-stakes environment like construction. The consequences are not only costly, but can also cost you your livelihood. What a spectacular blunder at the workplace. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and remember, honesty is the best policy, even when handling heavy machinery. Number 5. Slimy nightmare. Dealing with a spill like this during your workday might make you reconsider your career choice, as cleaning up this mess is arguably one of the worst jobs ever. In Oregon, a vehicle carrying a fleet of hagfish, eel-like creatures, experienced a spill, leaving a slimy trail. Hagfish are not only slippery, but also release copious amounts of slime as a defense mechanism. The cleanup involved not only handling these slithering creatures, but also tackling the challenge of their mucus slime. Approximately 7,500 pounds of hagfish spilled on the interstate during transportation from the hagfish fisheries of the Pacific Northwest to consumers in South Korea. Fortunately, no serious injuries occurred, but the hagfish did not fare well. Now, in the hands of the fire department, tasked with the cleanup, These sea creatures covered in mucus are a peculiar challenge. The hagfish's slime is composed of mucin, a sugar-coated protein, and coiled spools of thread resembling spider silk. When threatened, hagfish release this mixture, creating an elastic, slimy mesh. Number 4. Worst trade deal ever. Alaska became part of the United States through the Alaska Purchase in 1867. The idea of selling Alaska originated with Russian Tsar Alexander II in the 18th century. As Russia established a presence in the U.S., particularly during the 18th century, the prospect of defending Alaska during a military crisis seemed challenging. After the American Civil War, negotiations between the U.S. and Russia led to the formal transfer of Alaska to the United States in 1867. At the time, the prevailing sentiment among Americans was that Alaska was a barren and useless land. This perception changed dramatically with the Klondike Gold Rush, which brought significant economic benefits to the country. The U.S. paid Russia $7.2 million for Alaska, a sum that, when adjusted for today's values, seems like a remarkably good deal. $132 million for the addition of 586,412 square miles of new land. Despite accusations of corruption and mixed reviews at the time, many saw the acquisition of Alaska as a logical expansion to facilitate trade with Asia. In hindsight, the U.S. undoubtedly got the better end of the deal with Russia, as Alaska turned out to be a valuable and resource-rich territory. Number 3. Ladder fail. Initially, everything seems routine in the video as 3 men address an issue in the ceiling. Each plays a specific role. One supports the ladder from below, another acts as a backup on the ladder, and the third stands atop the ladder, though somewhat recklessly. Despite the risky position of the guy at the top, the presence of the backup guy provides a safety net. However, things take a disastrous turn when the guy on top decides to stand on his co-worker's shoulders to reach his destination. The outcome is a calamity. The man in the ceiling crashes through, breaking the ladder below him and causing the guy holding the ladder to stumble backward. With chaos unfolding, a man ends up dangling from the ceiling. Initially attempting an "I'll catch you" scenario, the team realizes the gravity of the situation and, with quick thinking, employs the still somewhat functional ladder to descend safely. The incident underscores the importance of caution and adherence to safety protocols, as the outcome could have been far more dire if not for the team's ability to adapt and respond in the heat of the moment. Number 2. The Google Barge. Google's peculiar barges were initially designed as floating showrooms to showcase the company's technological products. The intention was to create interactive spaces where people could learn about new technology. However, the project faced numerous challenges, ranging from financial issues to spending concerns and even aesthetic problems. Some speculated that Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg might have used his influence to halt the project. According to information obtained under the Freedom of Information Act by the Wall Street Journal, fire safety concerns were repeatedly raised about the Google barges. Despite being designed to accommodate a limited number of visitors, only 1,200 customers a day, worries persisted about the safety of people on board. This led to the remaining Google barges being left unfinished and inactive in locations such as California and the East Coast. Ultimately, Google chose to dismantle the ambitious showrooms before any public unveiling, acknowledging the potential fire hazards associated with the floating structures. The project, intended to delight and educate people about technology, ended up facing obstacles that prevented its successful realization, leaving the giant showrooms idle and incomplete. Number 1. The dumbest show. The worst scenario unfolds when an overconfident individual decides to showcase his skills on camera. In this case, a guy at work sets up a water bottle, intending to hit it with a dart, but he takes it a step further by attempting the feat without looking. Predictably, disaster strikes, as he throws the dart directly into his co-worker's screen. The co-worker's reaction is both legendary and reflective of the justified frustration. Firstly, the question arises as to why someone would throw darts around the workplace instead of using the dartboard in the presumed break room. Secondly, the reckless act poses a potential risk to a co-worker's life, demonstrating a lack of consideration for safety. Moreover, the individual's inexperience with darts is evident, as he fails to realize the importance of looking at the target or even facing forward to prevent mishaps. This incident could be deemed a fireable offense, considering the damage to office property, the disregard for work responsibilities, and the potential risk of injuring a coworker. Such behavior is incompatible with maintaining a safe and productive work environment. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.